gonna change the world, change the world, change the world, yeah.
Welcome to Celebrate Transformation. My name is Sally Colon-Petree, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Mr. Tim Storey. And we have an amazing guest today. Tim, tell us more about her.
The Miss Pamela Mumm. Listen, remember I told you, Sally, I said, you got to get to know this lady.
Yes, you did.
Let me just tell you something. So she's grew up in Iowa. We don't know many people who grew up in Iowa. So this is what we're going to talk about. Started her first business at 16 years of age. I got to hear about this, right?
Yes.
She is currently a business owner. She is a high performer, which I do know that because I know her. And she is a mentor, teacher, educator, just a fantastic woman. Pamela, good to see you today.
Oh my gosh, that was such a wonderful intro. I sound amazing. Thank you. It's good to see you, Tim. And I'm so happy to be a part of it. Good to meet you, Sally.
So, Sally, what happened is that Pamela and I were speaking at an amazing conference in Hawaii. Not a bad place to speak at a conference. And the gentleman that does the conference, we need to have on here someday. That's Bob Harrison. And I watched Pamela's speech, and I was like this. I mean, the lady had it. And it was, but I only watched part of it because I came in late. So I asked somebody, can I get it? And then everybody was just going on and on and on about how great she was. And as I studied her, I found out, wow, she's really making an impact on people's lives. So Pamela, what would you say is the main thing you do?
The main thing that I do is amplify the talent in everybody else so that they figure out how to deal with their own reality and experience the life they desire.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm in. Where do I sign up?
Right? Yeah, because every time I run into people, the thing that and I think this has resonated with me since I was little, right? I used to play teacher. And then when I was a teacher, it was all about amplifying the talent within the students that I taught. And now working with businesses and adults within businesses, it's like we all just kind of need that tune up to remember that we have genius and greatness in us. And sometimes we come up against things that encourage us to play small. And so I help get in there and develop teams so that everybody shows up at their highest level. And then that allows this amazing energy and synergy and magic to happen. And then companies are able to make a bigger impact into the world.
I like that.
Okay, so I have a question because Tim and I were talking about this earlier about how people play small.
Yes.
Why do we do that? And how do you get someone from thinking small to thinking large?
Yeah, I think that, all of us, it's part of the human condition, right? That we grow up, we learn these things, we see somebody who makes a weird face at us and we go, oh, I better not do that again. And we start to imagine that that's how we're supposed to show up and we start believing it. And so once we can get in there and find what is that? And we don't even have to go all the way back to where did we learn it? We just have to acknowledge that I have this weird, I call it a recording, right? Harmonic performance. So it's a recording. I have this weird recording playing in my head that is actually encouraging me not to take a risk. And it's winning until I have awareness around it and go, now I get to be a choice. I will no longer be used by that recording. I'm going to create a new recording.
So do you think the shift is that fast that somebody could just say, I'm going to record over the negative recording and I'm going to record positive stuff over that? Do you think it's that quick for most people?
Oh, I wish it were, because if it were, then everybody would do it. But it takes us however many years to learn the recording. So it's we have to have a little bit of grace with ourselves. And we have to actually believe that we can reprogram or re-record.
I totally agree. I think you have to unlearn what you learned. And I find that I see that even with kids that were raised around parents where the ceiling was so low of expectation. you have to unlearn this stuff. Where if a parent says to a child, bad things come in threes,
Oh,
and then two, like yikes.
yeah.
You have to learn them. Sally, think of
Absolutely.
all the things we had to learn because of our culture.
Oh yeah. No, I had to unlearn. I'm still trying to unlearn so many things that I learned as a child because of my culture. You're right. 100%. Still doing
So
it.
one reason I wanted Pamela on the show is she's very good on this idea of potential. Okay. So explain to us what potential is and how people can go from potential to develop the potential to manifesting their potential.
Yeah, well, and I love this idea of manifesting, right? Because we tend to say that manifesting is something really good, but really everything in our life is what we have manifested based on how we perceive ourselves. So if I constantly live in a state of, I have a lot of potential, then I'm always in a state of wanting. Where if I can actually be in a state of, I am whole and complete, and my potential happens as I continue to develop myself. So it's already there. The only thing that isn't happening is that we don't walk into it, like boldly embrace it, walk into it. And that's again where we start playing small. We start doubting and we get insecure and we think, don't be obnoxious or don't be too full of yourself or don't be too bold, right? Because what will people think? And so we downplay our potential.
Very good.
The only thing stopping us is ourselves.
That's so powerful. Oh gosh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I go ahead.
Sally.
No, you go.
I was going to say, because we're on a Christian platform, with they got 33 million people on this platform, on this Facebook. Pamela, faith plays a part in your life. So where does the Bible? How does the Bible help you with your faith and to build your potential and then to manifest?
So I think that whenever we can read in scripture, right, be in scripture, that's the truth. And when we understand that if the scripture is truth and that is God and God is in all of us, then that is our divine connection where doors are opening all the time for us. The only thing is, do we choose to believe the word and believe what what God says about us, right? That we matter, not the thought of us or some like perspective of us, but we really matter. And the doors are open, walk through, believe, walk through.
There's something about other people believing in you that also helps you get to that place, I feel like. Because if you don't have the right people around you that see you, right? Because there's three ways that you could be seen: the way we see ourselves, the way other people see us, and the way God sees us, right? So if we can take the combination of the three, right, and create something or believe in something, believe in ourselves really is what it comes down to. Instead of just hearing our own voices, I think that's when it becomes important to have the right kind of people in your life who are going to encourage and lift you up. What do you guys think about that?
I love it. Pamela?
100%. And as women, I think this is a really important lesson to learn because we don't have to compare. We don't have to bring somebody else down. And and I believe this for all humans, right? And as women, especially, because that seems to be something we're up against sometimes. But when we can see God in ourselves and God in the other person, then all of a sudden we are holding each other to the highest expression of ourselves. And there's nothing to be feared. There's nothing to be compared. There's nothing to pull down. We simply stand for and lift up. And it is beautiful when we're surrounded by that kind of tribe.
Okay, so I'm talking to two very successful women. So for Pamela, do you ever feel guilty because you're doing so well? Because I know you know how to do well. You know how to run businesses. You know how to make money. Was there ever any guilt that came with that?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about that.
So especially when I look at my family, because like my mom and dad are the biggest supporters of my life. So this has nothing to do with them. But when I went to tell my family, like, I'm going to go and be an entrepreneur, I'm going to leave the safety of education, the school system, and go out on my own. Mm-hmm. There was something in there actually that I felt guilty about, like that I was giving up on what I had done before. There was guilt about my family were not entrepreneurs. So, do I see myself as actually being able to do that? When I would have accomplishments or have success, there was part of me that was like, is this real? Can this continue? When's the other shoe going to drop?
Wow.
Right? And it was like, ooh, there was lots of recording there to work through. And it was wonderful. And it's because of powerful people. And I do believe that they are faith-filled people that are around me saying, it's okay. You can wonder, you can question, you can worry. You just can't stay stuck there. You've got to keep going.
I love that. And that's why it's so important, again, to have the right people in your life. And I'll take that a step further. So we could say to our girlfriends, you're doing a great job, you're amazing. And words are great, right? Words are words until you put energy into words, I believe. But I would say what makes it more powerful is when you actually give to that person in more than just words. For example, one of my girlfriends, Michelle, we both know her. She's a mental health advocate. She's super brilliant. I started going to this life coaching school, and her and I, she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, why don't you do this with me? And my other friend, Eden, why don't you do this with me? And I brought them into something that I felt was powerful for me, but I didn't just talk about it. I said, you guys do this with me. Let's do it together. And now we're all doing this thing together. We're all wanting to give back into the world, but not just me saying, this is what I'm doing, but like, come in with me. Let's do it together, because I know they're capable and they're loving and beautiful. And that's why they're in my life. And now we have this powerful threesome of women that it's like, let's go change the world together. So it's not just words, it's action too with your friends.
Love that. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Pamela, you talk a lot about team dynamic. Why is it so important to be a team? And can we just start with a team in the family? Okay. Team in the family, team in relationship with a person, whether you're dating, married, and then team in business. You could just maybe take a minute or two on each one. So team in the family, why is that important?
Well, so when I think about team and family, I think about all of the family dynamics that come into play. And I think it's beautiful curriculum for our own development, right? We are part of our family, but we are not limited by our family. And I think this is true actually in every single relationship, whether it's home or work or friends. Mm-hmm. At the moment we diminish who we are, and we almost like abdicate to, I'm going to be the small tree in this one, right? You can go be the big tree and I'll just be here in the background, that we're not serving ourselves or anybody in our life.
So good.
So that would be true for our family. It would be true for the teams of people that we work with. I love what Sally's saying, that we don't go somewhere by ourselves. We bring people along. And what I find is that it's almost easier to do the work, like the real work of what's holding me back. What do I need to do? It's easier to do it in work, and it's easier to do it with friends than it is with family. Because family, there are all these thoughts that go around. I'm supposed to be this kind of daughter. I'm supposed to be this kind of sister. And when it doesn't work out that way, we just take it to mean that we failed somewhere. And that's so hard to move through. And I come from a family of great people. Like, I love, love, love them. And we still end up with messed up stories about our family.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was going to say too, I think the reason it's so important to have a team around you, right, as you're moving forward on your journey, is because if it's just you, it's just your limiting thoughts, your limiting, your just the things that only. So you're only going to go so far. So you're limited to just what you know. So why wouldn't you want 4 other partners doing business with you that are going to come from different places to elevate you to a higher place? So it's all about team for me.
I like that a lot. So being that I'm a life coach, you guys see the little circle that I have?
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh at this. Watch. Okay, because Sally is single.
Yes, I am.
She's been married before, long time ago. Pamela is single.
Oh,
You're
wow.
both super powerful ladies. Now, this whole paper represents men that could be interesting, but this is the area that you guys have to choose from.
Funny. You're so right.
Because so many of the men can't handle this. Let's talk about this, Pamela.
So this is something that I am.
Oh my God, we're on fire today.
Pamela.
Look, this wasn't I good? Look.
That was good.
I need a water. I need a water break.
Right there.
What I'm trying to figure out is that like one man? Like,
No, that's a little circle of people.
Ooh.
like can several men get inside that little circle, or is it really we're all
That's such a good point. Is like I could pluck this out of this guy, this out of this side, this, and then that's the perfect man. But to find the one that has all the qualities, that's almost impossible.
No, but also, can I just go there for a second?
Yes.
Because I know Pamela, I've had strong talks with her. Sally, she kicks butt and takes names.
Love it.
So how is she going to go to some wimpy guy,
Right. Yeah.
wimpy in the spirit and wimpy in the mind?
Yeah.
And then Sally's the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pamela, what do we do then in this whole team thing that you teach? Because you're the team dynamic specialist.
Yes.
So, do you have to play yourself down to these guys?
Right.
Like on a dinner date, you have to go like, I'm just trying to find myself.
No.
Yes. Like, I'll just have a salad.
Oh my God, that's great.
Talk to me. Come on, Pamela, talk to us.
Come on, Pamela.
Oh Lord, this is such a, like, I'm really working my way through this topic right now in my life. And part of it is I don't want to bash men, right? Because I know a lot of incredible men. I love them. They're wonderful people.
Yes.
Most of them are married, which is great, right? That's not a problem. But when you get into the single part of the world, when I start to meet people, there are two things that happen. Either it's, again, going back to the small part, right? Like, if I come out as my big, bold self, then there are many men who won't even step into the arena. So the message is play small so you at least have some playmates.
Wow.
Wow.
Somebody write that down.
Wait. Say that again, please. Wow.
Yes, but isn't that true though? We have to play small so we have some playmates. Then when we decide we're not going to be that, then I can only speak for me. Then I wrestle with, okay, so this means I'm going to be alone. That's not true. There are men out there who can step in.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next level of man, they can step in.
Good.
Well, but then the whole challenge is, now that I've stepped in, I'm bringing you down. And it's like, dang it, I got to tap out of that one.
Oh,
So
wow.
finding a really healthy man who is secure with himself and knows himself and can be great at being him and have plenty of space for me to be me and go and do my passion and know that, I can love him, but I'm not going to be beneath. And I'm not going to tap out on my own life so that he can be awesome. Finding that kind of partner. Tim Storey, you would be that partner for somebody. Get in the ring, dude.
I signed up for that one.
You both scared me.
You could say the same thing about women, right?
Sally, what do you have to say to what Pamela's saying? This is so good.
No, it's so true. I'm with Pamela and everything that she's saying right now. It's almost impossible for me to find a man that is okay with my successes, right? But is also not just that, also a great communicator, someone who listens, someone who's not looking for their mama, someone who's looking for a woman who's powerful,
so good,
who's a great communicator, who, listen, here's the thing about me. Yes, I have all these beautiful successes in my life, but I also love to cook. I love to keep my house kept. I love being a mom. So I'm like the whole package.
You're
so
nurturing. You're a nurturing person.
I really am. So I have all these things, but I'm also super nurturing. You know, because there are women that are powerful and they have these elevated careers, but they don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to be a mom. You know, is that you? And there's nothing wrong with that. But what
she's going to hire people. She hires people.
Right. No problem. But I like doing all those things. So what's my problem? Why can't I find a man?
Okay. So this is such a good conversation. So Sally, I got to tell you something. So we were in Hawaii and the men were holding court at the table.
Love that.
They were telling important things because they're important speakers. Okay?
Yeah.
And I saw Pamela. And so I said, I'm gonna befriend her. Even though I was supposed to be one of the important guys at the table, I'm like, all this importance is boring me, what these guys are saying. I want to talk to her. But can I tell you one reason I like this? Because Sally knows me this way. My mother is strong and powerful. My sisters are all strong and powerful.
Yes.
I like strong and powerful women.
Yes, you do. But you're a little bit scared too of powerful women, I feel like. Look at you. Oh my gosh. Tim. I'm shifting this over to you. What is it that you are looking for? Top 5 things that you're looking for in a woman. Just give it to us right now. Go.
I'm going to give you 2 of the 5.
Okay, go.
Okay, number 1, I need nurturing. I need to be nurtured, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I give my whole life. I just give. And when I mean nurtured, just somebody do this. Just touch my shoulder.
What else? I'm taking notes. What else?
Just touch my shoulder.
Okay. I got that. I got your shoulder. What's number 2?
That's really powerful, right?
Yes.
So one is the nurture, but you guys, this is after years of going to Christian therapists. Okay.
Yeah.
So one is the nurturing. The other, guys, I need a sense of home. I've never had a home in my whole life because when I was a kid, my father died, changes the home dynamic. Nobody's home. My mother's working 2 shifts. Everybody's gone. There's no sense of home. I want to feel like I'm home. Like, there she is. Wow, we love each other. Look at that. There she is again. I still love her. I just touch my shoulder and make me feel home. That's all I want.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question then with that. That seems pretty simple. Obviously, you want a beautiful woman. I know you like the pretty women. So
I won't even go there right now. Listen, you know, my sisters are beautiful. I was raised around beauty, and that happens a lot. So since I was a kid, I saw beauty in my and I had very beautiful aunts. That's very interesting, right? So as a kid, one of my aunts was just gorgeous. You saw her face, so you get used to a certain face. So studies have been done about this, okay? But I think that the older that I get, I think the beauty is in the character. The beauty is in the story. The beauty is in the essence. I'm drawn to somebody's essence, yes.
So here's my question. Can she have a job?
Of course.
Okay, so you don't mind
lose her, go.
Okay,
because
all right.
then they go out, they're dynamic, and then they come home and they have something to share. Like they come home and I did it.
Here's the thing. How do I apply then? Where is there an application process? Like, how do we apply? You're so funny.
Just swipe right.
Tim would never go on an app, ever in a million years. He doesn't have to. He has the women lined up outside knocking on his door right now. Are you joking?
But you notice I don't pay attention. Sally knows this.
No, I know. He's got all the girls after him right now.
But I don't pay attention. But I think one reason that people do seem to be interested in me is I think I'm kind. I'm kind. Like I really care about people out of my heart. I care.
Yeah, but you're kind. But I think the reason why people are interested is because you're so not interested. So,
I'm learning.
Listen, people want what they can't have. It's all about the forbidden fruit. And you are the forbidden fruit that every woman's like, I just want to have him. Can I just have him? And you're like, no. I ain't got no time for you, girl. So that's what's happening.
I'm loving this conversation. Okay, so Pamela Mumm, how do people get in contact with you? Number one. And then I'm going to ask you about a new book you have, or another way that people can connect to you. So how do people get in touch with Pamela Mumm?
Easiest way is myname.com. So PamelaMumm.com.
Which your website is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It is. I looked at it too.
Good colors, good everything. All right. Anything that you have? Do you have a book? Anything you can talk about today as we close?
Yes. So next week, actually, a book that I've been writing for 6 years is going to print, and it will be available. And I'm excited about that. It's this marriage of the lessons that I learned being a high school teacher and how they apply to corporate America or to any team.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I have an online course that's like a master class that goes with it. So as people want to move through and start to actually overcome a lot of the barriers in their life so they can experience it differently.
Okay, so that's all on her website, and we're going to put all that there, and you can see it all. So Sally, lead us out today, and don't forget.
Yes, absolutely. I love that you have that. So Pamela Mumm, the new performance-driven leader, mentality maestro. Thank you so much for being a part. Go to PamelaMumm.com for all information. And we just want to thank our amazing sponsor, Team Hired. They are a team of recruiting and job replacement experts. So make sure you check them out. All the information is below. Thank you so much for being with us. This was such a fun show. We're going to put an application on the bottom for Tim. I'm joking. Tim's like, what? No, but thank you all so much for being with us. We love you so much. Please comment below. If you have any questions, we'll answer them for you. But we will see you next week on Jesus Daily, next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We loved having you, Pamela. Thank you so much. And we will see you next time on Celebrate Transformation. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna change the world, change